Hello everyone, I'm Christine Ann Alvarez. You can call me Tin. Today I'll be answering the question on discussion forum number 2. Will new media platforms have a role in development communications? But before we answer that, let us first define what is new media. According to Joe Coate from Southern New Hampshire University, new media is any media, whether that's from newspaper articles and blogs to musics or even podcasts that are delivered digitally. Meanwhile, Oxford Dictionary defined new media as a means of mass communication using digital technologies such as the internet. And as observed, the common element between these definitions is how the new media is in the digital space or the internet. So, given these definitions, will new media platforms have a role in development communications? The answer is yes. In the Philippines alone, over 117 million out of 118 total population have access to cellular mobile connections, on which more than half of it, or 86.98 million individuals, use the internet. When asked what are the main reasons why they use the internet, mainly the social media, they emphasize the following reasons, which are shown on your screen. This poses a huge opportunity for DevCom practitioners like us and even organizations to use these available platforms, whether these are from the social media, ebooks, internet radio, and more, to reach and engage with their target audiences for their development communication materials. But what's in it for us as a DevCom practitioners? So there are a lot of characteristics of new media that can be beneficial for us as DevCom practitioners. But given the essence of time, I would like to highlight these three. So new media amplify voices of communities. It helps disseminate real-time information and it fosters community engagement. So first, let's talk about how it amplifies the voices of communities. So does any one of you remember the tumindig artwork of Tarantadong Kalbo? I think this was published even before the Philippine elections in 2022. I think this is a good example of how new media helps amplify the voice of communities. When Tarantadong Kalbo shared this on his social media, he somehow represented those who have been voiceless or part of the minority at the time of repression. Inspired by his artwork, his fellow artists, advocates, and even citizens who were influenced by the artwork created their own, meaning their voices have been amplified. They are continuing the amplification of the voices of those who weren't heard at the time. On the other hand, Rappler developed an application, I think this is just recent, wherein their community can be part of. They can share their insights on the questions posted by Rappler on the set application. And their responses can be shared on Rappler's social media accounts. Second is the real-time information dissemination. And given the nature of digital media, news and updates can be posted on real time. This is essential, especially in times of crises and disasters. No? Given, for example, yung sa COVID-19 and even when we have typhoons and other disasters. And lastly, it fosters community engagement. In an article written by BBC Media Action, they highlighted how social platforms allow them to see how their audiences respond to the content they create. With the feedback mechanisms of digital platforms, whether it's a comment or a reaction to their post, new media platforms allow their audiences to engage in discussions on topics that concerns them. But just like any other media, new media platforms also have its challenges. First is the digital divide. In the Philippines alone, despite having an all-time high data on the number of internet users in the country, there are still areas that struggle in connecting and having a stable internet connection. Hence, the digital divide in our country. Second is the spread of misinformation and disinformation, especially in digital spaces and the rise of artificial intelligence or AI. This is also connected with the third challenges, which is the lack of digital literacy. Despite having digital literacy programs on the senior high school, we still fall behind on being critical on the information that we see online. Especially with the elderly or yung mga nakakatanda sa atin, no? They are the ones who usually fall into scams and phishing. So this challenges also pushes us as DevCom practitioners to be strategic in creating DevCom materials when using new media. So that's it for my answer on this question. Here are the references I used. And once again, I'm Christine Ann Alvarez. Thank you for listening, and I hope you engage with the discussion forum. Bye.